Here's everything you need to know. Now, looking at the design, these two look pretty much identical. They are slimmer compared to last year, so around 7.4 millimeters down from 8.2 millimeters. And instead of the triple ring design that we've got across Samsung devices right now, we now have a linear camera module. Now, it's honestly hard to tell these apart. I actually picked up the A56 thinking it was the A36 and the A36 thinking it was the A56 many times. But if we look closely at the camera modules, the A36 is flat, the A56 has indented circles on all of the cameras. The A36 also has a polycarbonate frame, which is a fancy word for plastic, but the A56 has a more premium brushed aluminium frame. Now, both devices have Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, and they do feel about the same, but the A56 is just going to be a bit more premium. Both come in 4 colors. We've got an awesome black, lime, white, and lavender. Samsung call all of these colors awesome for some reason. I personally do like the lavender. It kind of reminds me of the Note 10 series with a dual tone finish. The A56, the colors are a little bit more flat, so we've got an awesome light gray, olive, pink, as well as a graphite. Yes, all of these colors are also called awesome. And both devices have an IP67 water and dust resistant rating. Now, the displays are exactly the same with both devices. We've got smallish bezels with a punch out, as well as a bit of a chin. Apart from that, 6.7 inches AMOLED with 120 Hz refresh rate and a full HD plus resolution. Now, this year we do have brighter displays. So we've got a 1200 nits high brightness mode, as well as up to 1900 nits with the Vision Booster. This is up from 1000 nits of high brightness mode on the A55 and A35. Now, looking at the cameras, we've got brand new selfie cameras. They are 12 megapixels, so the resolution is lower compared to what we had last year, but these have larger sensor sizes with larger pixels, and this is going to give you around 1.5 times greater detail and dynamic range. Both also support video HDR and 4K 30 frames a second. The A56, however, does have an upgraded AI ISP, and this is going to reduce noise for your selfie. For the rear-facing cameras, we have a triple rear-facing camera setup for both devices. There's a 50 megapixel primary camera with optical image stabilization. This also supports video HDR. There's a 5 megapixel macro camera, and then we have an ultra wide camera. Now, on the A36, it is an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera. On the A56, you get a high resolution for the ultra wide camera at 12 megapixels. Now, I've only briefly tested the cameras on both devices. I did notice that the selfie camera has definitely improved. However, I will need to spend more time testing these. And if you do want me to do a detailed comparison, SuperSaf style, then let me know down in the comments. Now, another area where we have some differences is when it comes to the performance. So the A36 has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 6. This is a 4nm chipset, and it's got roughly about an 8% improvement for the CPU compared to the A35 last year. The A56 is superior in terms of performance compared to the A36, and we've got the Exynos 1580 chipset. This is also a 4nm chipset. This will give you around a 12% NPU improvement, around a 17% GPU improvement, as well as an 18% CPU improvement compared to the A55 last year, which had the Exynos 1480. We've also got 8 or 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, and we have larger vapor chambers. These are 15% bigger and comparable to the size that we've got on the S24 Plus. Now, for your day-to-day, these are going to be absolutely fine. Of course, they're not going to match the elite performance that we've got on the S series. For the software, we've got One UI 7.1, and Samsung has promised 6 generations of OS updates with 6 years of security updates. This length of software updates is super impressive and probably the best that you're going to find at this price point. Now, this is